It's your platform partner, D Jackson, all about making things happen. My background is in competitive speaking, right? I'm a competitive speaker, and that's how I really gained a lot of experience through entering speech contests. So Toastmasters is an organization where I was competing. So the first year, I wrote my very first 7-minute speech. It was an icebreaker speech. I took that to the 5th round, so I almost was at the finals. And then I did it again the second year, and I got down to the finals where I was in the top 80 people in the world. And I'm gonna tell you some stuff that I learned that was really important, especially if you're a Toastmasters. One of the number one things that I learned, and that is you have to get audience reactions. You want your audience to react to you, and they have to respond to you. In Toastmasters especially, what happens is people will go up and give a speech, they'll give a talk, and the audience will be quiet the entire time. And if the audience is silent, and you've been speaking for 5 minutes or 10 minutes, and they haven't had any responses or any reactions, then many times you are failing that audience. The audience is not feeling you. Now, some audiences that are going to be just more quiet, right? And less reactions. For example, there are certain Asian cultures where culturally they are just more respectful to their speaker and they don't show as much emotion when they're listening. Or you might be in America in front of a group of engineers. Or I remember I used to date this girl. I would go to church with her. She went to the Mormon church. And their church service would be kind of dry. It would be really dry, in fact. The audience would be, for the most part, quiet. And the pastor would talk and the audience wouldn't really respond. So sometimes there are crowds and cultures that are going to be more naturally non-reaction. But even with them, you want to aim to get a response. Now, a reaction does not mean that they have to actually talk and say something back to you. You want to get them to respond. In fact, even in the international speech contest, the people who won, who the number one speakers, were the ones who had the most audience reaction. When you're speaking, I don't care if you're doing comedy or you're doing whatever, you're in front of a group, you want to record yourself and then play it back and look at how many times is the audience reacting to you in some way. Now, there's different ways you can get audience reactions. It's not just one way. So audience reactions, it can come in many forms. Sometimes it can be people laughing. That's a reaction. And that's one of the best reactions. If you can get people to laugh 10 times or, within 5 minutes, you're doing good. And especially if they really laughing hard, if people stand up and give you a standing ovation, that's a great reaction. But also it could be a subtle reaction. It could be someone just being shocked and saying, oh my God. You could be telling a story that's suspenseful and they'd be like, oh, really? Whoa, wow. People can respond to you. Now, certain crowds are going to react more than others, right? You got to definitely know your crowds and know everybody's not going to react a lot. And some people might react more than others. But the point is you want to always practice ways and focus on how can you get your audience to respond to you in some way. And there's different ways you can do it. So just here's a couple ideas and techniques you can try. And one of them is really simple. And that is, first of all, you just being authentic and you being you, having a conversation with them. Because if you're trying to give a speech and you're trying to just talk about me all day, then people are not going to react because they're just kind of listening and they're being respectful. Almost like if it was a presidential debate. People are just listening to your answers. There's a difference between the dialogue and a monologue. Where the dialogue, people are going to respond. So conversate with them and talk as if you're having a dialogue. Use the word you while you're talking. I'm glad you came. You made a good decision being in the crowd today and being with me today. Let me tell you why. And now you're talking directly to them. So you're having a conversation. You don't have to be formal. You can talk conversational. That's one way. Another way is take time to pause. Sometimes you might say something, and for example, if you're talking to a group of 10 people, and you can say a line, and that same exact line, you can say it in front of a group of 1,000 people, and 1,000 people will laugh. versus that same exact line or joke, people don't laugh when it was just 5 or 10 people. And one of the reasons why is because your delivery might change. It's not always the line, it's how you delivering it. And so if you deliver and you pause and you take your time and you exaggerate your words, again, it's not always about what you say, but it's how you say it. If you say the same words in a funny way, like most of your comedians do, they'll say something really basic. Like I was listening to Cat Williams. And Cat Williams, he was like, yeah, when I'm in New York, he said, I don't need all the people to come out and see me. I just need the real ones to come out and see me. I don't need all the women to come and see me. I just need the bad and beautiful women to come and see me. And people were laughing because the way he was saying it, he was just being animated. He was exaggerating his words. And he wasn't saying nothing funny per se. It was just the way he said it. And so it's the way you say things. If you can be animated or exaggerated, people can get in tune and get reactions based off of that as well. Also, pause. If people start laughing, pause. Let them laugh, because they're reacting. So when they're reacting, let them enjoy their reaction. But sometimes you do have to move it along, and in the interest of time, like I'm about to move this along and end this video, but move it along. By keeping people's attention and say, hey, listen, you won't believe, this is true story. And so now you're setting it up so people pay attention to you. So again, get audience reactions. These are just some ways you can do it. I got a lot of other ways that we cover on the Speaking Podcast. Also in the project, the Unleash the Power Speaker Within. That audio, make sure y'all check that out. Also, check out the what other part that we have? What do you do when it's your time to speak? Make sure you check that out too. Get that book, get that video program. Yeah, and make sure you also go check out the school. We got the courses where we teach public speaking, how to sell, how to communicate, and get paid and all that good stuff. Get people to listen. But anyway, I want y'all to just keep tuning in, subscribe to the channels. Make sure that you like our videos. Hey, and support the movement. This is D Jackson, your platform partner. Remember, on social media, it's Dr. Jackson 360, DRJACKSON 360. Follow and keep doing your thing. Remember, the people that told you that you couldn't do it, they're watching you right now. So give them something to look at. So I just want you to continue to invest in yourself and do you. I'm your platform partner, D Jackson, all about making things happen. And I can't wait to see you on that stage doing your thing. So I'm excited. Let's go.